Zero Calorie Marketing is a podcast created for marketers by marketers. In this podcast, we cover everything from marketing, philosophy, life, and whatever else that comes in between. We ask our guests about their current marketing struggles, how they overcame their biggest hurdles in their career, as well as tips and tricks listeners may be able to take away. Without a further ado, let's get to it. So today I'm joined by Krisztina, or Chrissy as as her friends call her, and I hope we can bridge that gap after this conversation and we can start being in a nickname basis. I'm joined by Krisztina, and please help me. How do you pronounce your surname?
So my surname is Gyüre, so
Gyüre.
Hungarian.
Yes, you are the first Hungarian guest that we've had so far. So we're really excited, and hopefully this doesn't go wrong, and we do justice to the Hungarian country. So today it's exciting because we're joined. You're actually in Marseille at the moment, and tell us, what is it like in Marseille at the moment?
I'm really happy to be in Marseille today. I came here for the long weekend, taking the opportunity that flexible working provides us now. And it's super sunny. It's 30 degrees. I'm really excited to get out there, drink some wine, and lie on the beach for the weekend.
Well, by the time this episode will be aired, my jealousy would have reduced slightly. So tell us who you are and what do you do?
So I'm the marketing manager at tech consultancy, a multiple Google Cloud Partner of the Year, Datatonic. As part of my role, I look after a whole broad area of marketing. I wear many hats, and that's partly because we're a team of about 120 now. So of course we don't have a huge massive marketing team. So it's a really exciting role in the sense that I get to do everything from working with our web devs, our designers on our website, to working with our clients on joint case studies, to working with our sales team on joint lead generation activities, roundtables, account-based marketing initiatives, working with our partners on joint value propositions, marketing to our partners, letting them know what we're doing as well. All the way to kind of employer branding and talent marketing, making sure that we're showing the world what it's like to be a data night as well.
So it's like, it sounds like a busy working environment at the moment.
It's definitely always busy. There are no boring days. Just recently had a couple of new starters in our marketing team, which is super exciting. And I told them during the interview process something that I really like about my work and my company and what I do and the people that I work with is that I don't think since I've been here, since the 3.5 years that I've been at Datatonic, I don't think I've ever looked at the clock once before 5 o'clock. Wow. Because time just flies, and the projects are really interesting, really varied, fast paced, but manageable. So I think that's very special, and it's something that I really enjoy. Not having a boring second.
The one thing I really want to kind of ask you was like, I was doing my research and I was being a bit nosy. So you actually studied psychology at university.
I did.
Can you tell us how that has actually inspired or impacted the work and your approach to marketing?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. So yeah, you're right. My background is in psychology. I studied psychology at UCL, which I loved. Fun fact about me: I actually got into UCL to study mechanical engineering with business finance. But I always was so interested about human behavior and human psychology that within the first week, I said, actually, can I change? And UCL allowed me, which was great. And then out of uni, I spent a couple of years working working as a therapist with autistic children. And then after that, I got pulled into the shiny world of tech and sales and then marketing. I do find marketing to be a really good fit for me because it's well, there are two areas, I think. One is the kind of more obvious consumer psychology, what messages resonate with people, what brand elements resonate with people, from what colors make people feel certain things to the language that you use to describe a product or service and how that affects people to when to A/B testing email campaigns to test whether people are more likely to read your newsletter on a Friday or a Monday or at 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. or maybe a Saturday. It's quite interesting. And secondly, so that's kind of like the first part is more how can you apply psychology and all your knowledge in your role to get the business outcomes that you're looking for. But I think secondly, which is from a KPI perspective, not as measurable, but how much you enjoy your working environment. How do you work with the people that you're around every single day?
So, I mean, this is let's go back in time. So you're in Senate House. So I actually went to UCL too. So I know, so, similar to you, actually, I studied public policy at Institute of Education, which is now UCL. But I suddenly found myself drawn to the psychology section of the library more so than any other parts of the, of what the institute had to offer. And so I was like reading so much about psychology because it was just such a fascinating kind of world. And from a marketing perspective, I can definitely see the seeds of my thinking from what I studied at a uni to what I'm doing now. So the long-winded question. So you're at Senate House, you're sipping your coffee, and someone told you, you'd be working in digital marketing or marketing. What would you say? How would that, is there any kind of inklings or kind of, ideas that you had at that time and thought, you know what, I'm going to go into marketing?
First year of uni, this is. No, I was definitely set on doing something to help people live a better and happier life. I was really interested in positive psychology. I was really interested in mindfulness, maybe coaching. But then actually what I did find coming out of uni at the age of 22, that I hadn't even worked through my thing. So what did I have to offer to somebody who is dealing with, I don't know, corporate lifestyle or life in London or, having to commute to Canary Wharf and look after millions of pounds of budget? And how can you coach somebody whose shoes you actually can't put yourself into? So, I still very much have a big passion for psychology, and I definitely see myself at some point in my life doing at least part-time that kind of role. But I'm really happy that I've been swayed by the shiny world of tech in the meantime, because I can experience probably the lifestyle and the challenges that most people experience working in large companies or maybe fast-paced environments or having a non-psychology related career. So I think I have a lot more to offer. It's given me time to kind of work through my own things as well, which means that you can, kind of like the empathy perspective. So no, probably not at that point. However, as soon as I started looking at roles outside of psychology, even though I found sales initially, I think as soon as I was in sales for a few months, I thought, I really like what marketers do. I think that would be quite interesting. And they're actually align incredibly well. And so very lucky that these two passions of mine can sit next to each other and inform the other.
No, honestly, I can tell you, I studied psychology for a year, and it was started as a hobby. My official degree is nothing to do with psychology, but I always had this passion. And what happened with me was, I was always a kid when at school who I only read when I had to read something for exams and that kind of thing. But then for the first time in my life, I was actually seeking out books and reading up, references, and chasing them up just because I was really into it. And I thought, you know what, this may be my true kind of passion. And like you, I actually ended up being in sales, but then sales led me to the world of marketing, which kind of thought, which is a lot of, I personally think, this is from my own perspective, where sales is psychology, but then marketing is almost like sales, psychology, and a bit of art, and something where you need to understand the whole perspective, understand society, understand how people relate to get into that. So, I think going back to the questions that we have, you did psychology, you were in sales for a bit, and then you went to marketing. How did that conversation actually happen in terms of, like, was it by chance that you applied for a role in marketing, or how did that kind of fall into your lap?
So my move from sales to marketing was, I had already started at Datatonic when we were 20, maybe 24 people at the time, as the first kind of commercial hire into the team. So my remit was everything from supporting with sales ops, marketing, which were more or less events and blogs at the time, and some partner management. And as the company grew within the next year, and we started becoming, 40, 60 more people, and we were looking at, with our incredible head of growth, we were looking at how we can how that looks for the team as we grow, who takes responsibility for which area. He asked me, I see my team looking, I see my team having three separate areas: partner management, sales ops, and marketing. Which one of these do you feel is the most aligned to you? And I immediately said marketing, and he said, yeah, like that was pretty obvious, but it's great to have been asked the question. So it was a very conscious choice. I think I just really enjoyed running the events. I really enjoyed the people aspect. I really enjoyed that it still had the partner element, the sales element. So it was a total no-brainer for me, and I definitely felt very lucky that I could make that move within the same company, and I didn't have to go back to square one somewhere else from a marketing exec position.
So you grew into the role and the company. So, clearly, because when you are working within a big company or fairly, small, medium-sized enterprises, and the whole of marketing rests on you, and from the sounds of you've had a chance to flavor a whole range of marketing tools and try lots of things. What's been your best marketing activity that you've done to date? It doesn't have to be one; it could just be like a range of things.
Definitely. I'm happy to answer this. So I think I can immediately think of a couple of events that have been very well received and kind of both from one of them is more lead gen activity. So generating lots of leads who are, we call it on target for us. So the right companies, the right stakeholders, the right kind of conversations that we were having. And that was sponsoring Google Cloud Next in 2019, which is Google Cloud's big flagship event. It was in London in that year. And it was because we're a data and AI consultancy specializing on Google Cloud Platform. So it's a really, really important partnership for us. We know that the people who are coming to that event are going to be interested in Google Cloud Platform solutions on Google Cloud Platform, which our team can help them with. So that was very much kind of like the right audience. It was really, really fun to organize. Again, just getting the whole team together to pull together to make our booth look amazing with the designers, to develop the demos that then pulled people into our booth. With the technical team, we had a demo with Lush bath bombs and kind of like image scanning to show how we help them develop their machine learning model inside their app, which has allowed them to go packaging free. We had another demo, which was AI generated music. So that was great. And it translated into direct opportunities for us. Those conversations, carried on over the next 2 years. And our presence as well. So kind of like huge huge value in the awareness generation, being there, people seeing our logo, and then also the conversations that we were having, the lead gen activities, building our database, people opting into our newsletters, people opting in to see what we send them, and the sales guys being able to pick those conversations up later. And then second, I also have an event, which was more mid-funnel engagement last year. So that was a C-level roundtable that we had at Google's offices, specifically around MLOps, which is one of our key go-to-markets this year as well. It's one of our specialty areas. Our team are very, very good at building machine learning platforms, using the latest Google Cloud tools, and we ran a roundtable for clients and prospects who we were already engaging with. So again, not so much a lead generation activity, people who are interested in making the most of their GCP stack, already doing machine learning, but want to do it better, want to get those models to production faster. And that was a great event, invite only, just as restrictions were lifting as well. So I think people were really keen to get back in person, but still having to navigate some of the social distancing stuff. It was not an easy event to organize, but it was a really, really highly successful event with great insights from the team. And again, progressing those conversations with clients and prospects a lot further than 15 minutes on a quick call can.
Okay, well, I don't want to kind of curtail your questions or answers. I want to kind of get into the quick fire routine now.
Okay.
And obviously, because of your interesting background, your customer persona document must be like amazing. Can you give us tips on how to do a customer persona from a psychology perspective and also from a marketing perspective?
So from a customer persona perspective, I would really look at your database. Who are the people who you're having successful conversations with? So there is so much data that you've got available to you. Then use it. And listen to the sales team, because they have their ears to the ground. They're the ones having the conversations. Put in 15 minutes with them, interview them, ask them, who are you speaking to? Who do you want to be speaking to? What are they telling you? What do you want to be telling them? What challenges are you getting? If they're not the right person to speak to, who should you be speaking to? What are they interested in? What are they measured on? And then make that into a document, and then get sales to review it over and over again until they're like, yes, this is my person.
Perfect. May I ask, how often do you review your customer persona document?
I'd say this is something ongoing for us.
Wow.
So when sales feed something back, the customer persona is updated.
Wow, that's amazing. Because we update our customers every 6 months. Well, we know that companies, well, we can't name names, but there are some companies that we work with who have never updated the customer persona, and we're having to do the work for them. Moving on, what is your biggest headache and what's keeping you awake at night?
Ooh, I'd say, this is a tough one, actually. Don't like to think about headaches.
What's the first thing that comes to mind? I was
thinking operations. I think, being a high growth scale up, or, still very much a startup culture, so many great things about it. Probably in terms of tooling available, not having an ops team or not having somebody focused on making sure that the sales pipeline is clear, that the CRM is clear. This is something that is probably I don't do as often as I should, clearing the database, looking at who's in it, how many people do we need to replenish that. So definitely around the ops side, database, keeping the database clean, and reporting. I want to do a lot more reporting. I want to be looking at a lot more insights. We do it monthly, but with reporting and insights, you can always go so much deeper. And that's something really exciting about marketing. People's behavior changes all the time. So you need to be consistently looking back at that. That's what I want to automate as much as possible and get help with.
If anyone's out there listening and wants to come back, get in touch, then, from operations side, that's an issue that a lot of marketers that we talk to have. So now, you have to only answer one thing, and I'm being unfair here. What's been the best return of investment activity that you've ever taken? And you cannot think about it. You just have to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Probably the Google Cloud sponsorship, the Google Cloud event sponsorship. Yeah.
And was that because you got lots of leads and also you got lots of SQLs, MQLs through?
Yeah, exactly. It depends, of course, how we measure ROI. Are we measuring success by number of leads? Or are we measuring success by revenue? Are we measuring success by number of ops generated or bookings? But something that's really important to us, and we this is something that I've mentioned already, is our Google Cloud partnership, because a lot of our opportunities come from Google, because we have that kind of like very unique partnership. We have the trust, and so actually a lot of the activities that matter to us loads is also marketing to our partners at Google.
Good. A lot of people we speak to have stacked shelves of books and marketing leaflets and PDFs that they've saved on their laptops. What's been 3 marketing books or people that have, who has been most inspirational to you in your journey? Who do you look up to on a weekly or monthly basis?
Ooh. A really good question. I can give you a book that I'm reading now. It's called Alchemy, The Surprising Power of Ideas That Don't Make Sense, by the Vice President of Ogilvy.
Yeah, Rory Sutherland. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know his work.
So not strictly marketing, but so applicable to all areas of life. Why you shouldn't just blindly follow data. Why you shouldn't just blindly follow logic every time. Logic is great to inform you when you don't want to take risks. But if you want to do something truly innovative, if you want to do something that nobody has done before, if you want to achieve something that differentiates you, you probably have to look beyond data and let your mind roam a bit free. And there's a lot of value in that. I'm really enjoying reading that. And I think although not a book, but I had an immense amount that I learned from my current manager, who's our head of channel sales and marketing at Datatonic, Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah, shout out to Lisa. I'll send her the podcast. She's on maternity leave at the moment, but I think a lot of the things that I do now, it's because she took the time to show me everything, and help me to a really high standard from the start. I think that matters so much to have somebody who, depending on how you learn, I know some of the tech guys learn really well by reading and doing. I learned by watching. So for me, having somebody who showed me how to do things to a standard that's exceptional has been, I think, the biggest gift in my career that I could have had. Yeah.
Well, last question. What are your predictions for next year in your world?
Again, I have to, I don't want to sound like I'm singing the same tune, but return of in-person events.
Yeah.
I think it's great that hybrid is available to everyone. But what I'm seeing is that there's a slightly tiny decline in attendees to webinars and huge uptakes on in-person events and community-driven events. People want to be around each other, and people want to be around people who are interested in similar things. They want community, and they want to make that connection in person. I think that's really important. And we actually hosted the DBT meetup in London earlier this week, and we had 150 people, and we had 20 people on the wait list, because I think people are just yearning to get out there again and ask people questions in person and collaborate. And the conversations that happen when you're sitting around a table are completely different to the conversations that happen when you're in a screen and can turn your laptop off and can mute people. It's just not the same. So I think that's my biggest prediction. I think there's going to be a huge return in more focused, community driven or more community focused, maybe smaller events, but certainly in person.
Good. Well, we're running out of time. How can people get in touch with you if they wanted to contact you, ask for advice, get in touch with you?
Of course. So they can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Krisztina Gyüre, or via Datatonic. I'm the marketing manager, and my email is also just my first name last name @gmail.com.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time, Krisztina. and we will be in touch with you very soon.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me. It's been really fun.
Okay. Like what you hear? Then check out some of the other episodes in this series or visit us at zerocaloriemarketing.com.